Gio.
BT and Sal.
Evan and Tiki. Keith McPherson, your nighttime host on The Fan.
On the fan.
On the fan.
On the fan.
It's WFAN Daily, hosted by Pete Hoffman.
Welcome to another episode of WFAN Daily with your host, Pete Hoffman. And it's Panic City time here in Queens with the New York Mets because they just got their ass beat in a 3-game series versus the lowly Pittsburgh Pirates, who can't hit a lick, scored 30 freaking runs. 3-0. 30. In 3 games, 30 runs. Okay, fine. How many did the Mets score? Let's tally it together. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4. They got outscored 30-4 in 3 games. That equals suckiness. That's what's going on right now with the New York Mets. And here's the thing: is a lot of people are going to sit there and say, "Oh, well, the bats are dead. That's the biggest problem." How about you shut out a team and prevent the team from scoring that sucks complete ass? Because that's what the Pirates do right now. They are awful. There is no one on this team that is good. They're not tradable. O'Neal Cruz, the guy that's supposed to be up there as like a top-ranked, younger player in the league, he's not that good, but somehow he had a good series. Everybody just beat the living piss out of the New York Mets pitching staff. It's embarrassing. And it starts with Paul Blackburn. I'm sorry. I'm not giving this guy a pass anymore. He sucks. He needs to be DFA'd. He's not good. I don't care about the pitching lab. I don't care about let's work on his pitches. I don't care. Well, he's a professional starter. You know who else is a professional starter? Kids in the AAA. Jonah Tong. I don't want to say Blade Tidwell because he pitched and we saw he wasn't that good either. Nolan McLean. I've seen those 2 kids succeed in the minor leagues. Why are they not here? Why are we dealing with Paul freaking Blackburn? A career 5 ERA. And we're sitting there and putting him up against the Pittsburgh Pirates because we're like, oh, well, you know what? They can't hit, so he should do well. He should do well. How about Frankie Montas on Sunday? The most amazing thing about Frankie Montas is not that we expected him to go 4 innings. Like, I knew that's where he was going to. He's going to sit around 3-4 innings. What I assumed was he'd give up 6 runs, but not in the first inning. He gave up 5 runs in the first inning. I expect it to happen, over the 3 or 4 innings, like, a run or 2 here or there. He gave up 5 in the first inning. You're out of it before you even begin. And you know that the Mets are slumping right now offensively. They just can't hit. They can't put anything together. You're getting solo home runs, maybe a sac fly here or there, but that's basically what you're putting together. There's no rallies. There's nothing going on right now with this offense. They are dead right now. They had a team meeting on Saturday night. What the hell did they say? What did they say? Because it didn't work. It didn't even come close to working. I'd like to know who spoke. I mean, we know that Lindor spoke. We know that Alonso spoke. I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't be surprised if Juan Soto spoke. But who else spoke? I'm hoping that Paul Blackburn didn't speak. I'm hoping that the pitching staff isn't speaking. I'm hoping that Brazaban isn't speaking. I'm hoping that guys like that aren't speaking. It's time for them to get on out of here. And it's not about, DFA Brazaban, because I know logically that doesn't make any sense because he's got 2 more options, but send his ass down to the minors. There's no reason for him to be here right now. The same way that Francisco Alvarez is down in the minors trying to figure it out, trying to understand what his problem is in the big leagues, it's the same way Brazaban has hit a dry spell. He can't get anybody out. He couldn't get anybody on my kid's 8U team out right now. Send him to the minors. You got options. And stop with this BS of, hey, we're going to DFA Colin Poach. Hey, we're going to DFA Richard Lovelady, to then sign him back a day later. He wasn't good 2 days ago. But we're going to bring him back to see if he's good today. I called it out on my show on Saturday morning. I was on 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. Saturday morning. And you can listen back and I go, I guarantee you Richard Dickie, whatever his name is, Lovelady, is going to be back on the New York Mets within days. And he was. And it's not a knock against him. It's just a knock on the approach that the Mets have right now. It's let's go and dive into the gutter. Let's go and dig on the bottom of the barrel and hope we find something that's going to work out. Maybe there's some level of trash that we can find that will give us a few more weeks until the trade deadline. And that's why you lose 30-4. And that's why you get smoked by the Braves, smoked by the Phillies. And you're in a rut right now where you've now lost, you're 3-13. In the last 16 games, you've lost 13 games. It's gross. It's despicable. And if you want to change the idea of this fan base, it's time to grow a set of nuts, grow a set of balls, and go make a trade or go and cut somebody and make an impact on this team and say, listen, we don't accept this type of play anymore. It doesn't happen. It's unacceptable. We're in June, and I know that they're sitting in second place in the NL East. It's not like they're sitting there going like, oh, well, they're a dumpster fire, they're in last place. But they've been playing like shit. They've been playing like complete and utter ass. It's unacceptable for a team with an owner that says, I want to change the culture. I want to change the way our fan base feels. I want them to get happy. I want them to feel like we're on top of the world all the time. But then you can't get swept by the Pirates. You can't lose 30-4 in 3 games. Unacceptable. I mean, you might as well have gotten swept by the Colorado Rockies or the White Sox. They're that bad. There's 3 terrible teams in baseball right now. The Pirates are one of them, and you got your ass smoked. Embarrassed. That's unacceptable. Set a torch something in the locker room. Set fire, set something ablaze, but light some sort of spark, because this is embarrassing. And you know what? What's even funnier is that right now, the Subway Series is a week away. It's Friday. I can't wait for the Yankees to come into Citi Field and completely punk the hell out of the New York Mets. Because that right there, that'll be some 4th of July. That'll be fireworks. That'll be amazing. Set the city ablaze. Because if you want to have a Mets-Yankees thing right now, because everyone wants to talk Mets-Yankees, it's always a thing. You can never get away from it. But if you want to make it a Mets versus Yankees thing, get ready. The Yankee fans have been waiting for this moment to completely and utterly just beat the Mets fans down to a bloody pulp. And this will be the time to do it. And it doesn't really make a difference. It's the regular season. It's halfway point of the season. You know, both these teams are playoff teams. No, it does make a difference. It does make a difference. Because in the season where last year you had to win every single series at this point in time, everything was, this team has a lot to fight for if they want to make the playoffs. And they went out and they fought tooth and nail. They didn't have a day off until they got eliminated in LA from the Dodgers in the NLCS. But starting in June, they were a constant. They had to win. They had to. There was no choice. If they stuttered, they had to find a way to get back on track the next day. This team, they don't care. They win 2 games versus the Braves and get completely embarrassed by the Pirates. It's unacceptable. And the Yankees are going to punk them too. And does it make a difference? No, because you probably make the playoffs. But then when you get knocked out in the first round, it's going to just show how bad of a season this was. And everyone's going to question themselves again and go, really, was this team that good? No. So what? We got Juan Soto. So what that Pete Alonso breaks a record for freaking the most home runs as a New York Met? So what? Francisco Lindor is finally going to the freaking All-Star game. I don't care. I don't care how many All-Stars the New York Mets have. I prefer last year when they had to fight every single game to get to the playoffs. It was 161, and they finally locked in on a playoff spot. I'll take that over this crap. I don't want to see them make the playoffs a game, hey, they finally make it. They got 20 games left to just skate on by, get to the playoffs. No. This team, it feels like the only way that the New York Mets are held accountable and actually actually play well is when they are held accountable, when their backs are against the wall. That's the only way. And I'm sorry, but David Stearns, it's now time. It's now time for you to step in and say, guys, we can't do this anymore. The players had their meeting, and guess what Guess what the player meeting did? They lose 12-1 the next day. That's what the player meeting did. Absolutely ugats. Nothing. Dick. That's what it did. So I am not trusting these players right now. I am not trusting the chemistry of this team right now. I know it's a rut, and maybe they'll find their way out of it sooner than later. But it's time David Stearns sets a fire ablaze and makes a move. It's got to be ballsy. It's got to be gutsy. It can't be one of these things of okay, we're going to get rid of Richard Lovelady again to bring him back tomorrow. Hey, Colin Poche, we'll bring it back tomorrow, but we're going to cut you again. We're digging from the bottom of the barrel. It's terrible. This is minor league BS. It's gross. It's got to stop. All right. And congratulations to the Yankees, by the way. Jazz Chisholm, by the way, since he's come back, 6 home runs, I think it's 18 RBIs, and the guy is proving why he could be a stud in major leagues. He just is. And if he could just continue this, have a bit more plate discipline, maybe, just maybe, Jazz can be the 1B to Aaron Judge's 1A. Just maybe. Because that's what the New York Yankees need right now. A lot of teams need that, but the New York Yankees need that other player besides Aaron Judge to step up. And right now, the past few games in particular, Jazz Chisholm has been doing that. That's the guy that's been taking the team and putting him on his back. If only somebody else on the Mets would take the team and put him on his back. It's been Juan Soto for a month now. I'm sorry, we're going back to the Mets, but I just can't believe how crappy they are. It's disgusting. All right. I'm done venting for the moment. Wait, do I got one more? Oh, yeah. Carlos Mendoza. I'm happy that you showed a sack and went up to the umpire and got in his face. You got to do that more often because something's got to change here. The team's got to know that they got to change their ways. And if it's not them that's lighting a fire, it's got to be you. But Mendoza, Stearns, Cohen, you three right now are going to be held accountable because this team is failing. The New York Mets are failing their fan base. They're failing you. So now it's time for you to take charge and do something about it. And it's not, okay, make a trade to make a trade. No, it's responsible. Let's go out there. There's a guy named Sandy Alcantara. Go get his ass. Go look at the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are going to be knocked out of the playoffs sooner than later because of the fact that they don't have anybody. Their team is all injured, all out because of serious injuries. Go knock on their door. And don't worry about these freaking prospects that we're saving, we're hoarding. They're not that good. They're not that good. Whether it's Brett Beatty, whether it's Mark Vientos, whether it's Ronnie Mauricio, if it means you can get an A-plus pitcher and put him on this pitching staff and actually give you freaking length, maybe get you 7 innings on a regular basis, I'm more than willing to do that. I'm more than willing to do that. Like, remember when Tariq Skubal was available for the Detroit Tigers? Maybe that was a move you should have made. Maybe one of the better pitchers in baseball. You bring in and say, at least we know we have a pitcher who can go deep in a game and save us. Because I'm sorry, and I keep on saying it over and over and over, but you can't have starting pitchers go 3.5 innings or 4 innings. That's called an opener, and that's not going to work every day. And between Frankie Montas, Paul Blackburn, I'm going to throw Clay Holmes' ass in there because he can barely get 5 innings these days. It's not acceptable. It's not good enough. You don't have an actual professional pitching staff. We're waiting for freaking what? For Kodai Senga to come back? For Sean Manaea to come back? We don't even know how good Sean Manaea is going to be. Frankie Montas is not a professional pitcher. I know he had an unbelievable game versus the Braves the other day. 5 innings. Good. Guess who had a good game today for the Yankees? Marcus Stroman, 5 innings. Amazing. Great. Do we think that that's the likelihood? Do we think that's usually how he's going to be? No. Marcus Stroman, Frankie Montas, Paul Blackburn, these type of pitchers, they struggle, they fight, they give you 3-4 innings. They gave up about 4 to 5 runs per game, and they battle. They eat up a few innings, but it's basically a bullpen day. You can't have 4 bullpen days in a row. But that's where we're at right now. David Stearns is on you. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It's not just go out and do something. No, it's go out and get a starting pitcher. And I understand right now, there may not be many teams that are looking to trade. I've heard someone called me in about the other day about Charlie Morton. The guy's 50 years old. He's 42. But he's 50 years old. And he sucks. His ERA is close to 6. I don't want that garbage. I don't want, let's trade a piece or two for some reclamation project. There's no more projects. Go and find a starting pitcher that is going to give you length and carry you into the playoffs. Because when your offense gets shut down, at least it would be nice to have a close game. It'd be nice to have a close game. Like, what was the problem in the series versus the Dodgers last year? Let's go back to the playoffs real quick. What was the problem with the series of the Dodgers last year? Is that we got shelled. The games that they lost, they got shelled. Their pitching staff got blown up. So why don't you bring in an ace to prevent getting blown up? Right? Doesn't that make sense? I feel like it's too logical. The one thing the Yankees have is they have a star-studded starting rotation. And they don't even have Garrett Cole. They have Max Fried, who's an ace. Carlos Rodon has been pitching like an ace. He's not there. He's not as good as Max Fried, but he's been pitching much better. He still has his games where he dogs it, and he's bad. He can only go 6 innings because he's huffing and puffing. Okay. What are we, Luka Doncic over here? I get it. Luis Gil's going to return. Hopefully he's going to be good. Clark Schmidt has his days where he got no-hit stuff. Other days, not so much. Will Warren, if he can give you 5, if Will Warren can give you 5 innings and shut out baseball, your money. But he's the 5th pitcher. We're talking about right now David Peterson being the number 1 starter for the New York Mets, followed by what? Frankie Montas is the 5th pitcher. Paul Blackburn should be a non-pitcher in baseball. I mean, I can't even take it. I can't even go anymore. I'm done. I will do a Rico Bronya later on tonight with Evan Roberts, and we'll dive more into this. I wonder if he's as upset as I am. I can't imagine that he's popping champagne saying, hey, this was a good series, or just brush it aside. I know Positive Tommy's like, don't worry about it. Streaks happen, losses happen. This is not your typical losing streak. It's not your typical being swept by a bad team of, it was a close game and they just got lucky. They beat the shit out of us. They beat the shit out of the Mets. That is not typical. That is awful. That is atrocious. All right. I'm going to go relax, put my feet up. We're going to do a Rico Bronya around 8 o'clock tonight. If you're listening live right now on WFAN Daily, 8 o'clock tonight, Sunday night for Rico Bronya. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. with BT and Sal. I'll be doing more WFAN Dailies every day. Be doing Rico Bronyas after the series ends. I know Subway Series coming up. I'm really looking forward to that. I can't wait to hear the crap Mets fans are going to get from Yankee fans. And rightfully so, because they did this weekend, they did what they were supposed to do. They beat up on an A's team. I know it wasn't beating up per se, but they won a series. They beat them up on Sunday. That's what they did. That's for sure. I know Saturday wasn't great, but they won a series. You just got to keep winning series. At least win a game, especially if the team's terrible. You can always follow me at at Hoff, Hoff, WFAN on all social media platforms. Again, I'll be back with Evan on the Rico Bronya. You can find me there, WFAN Daily, on a daily basis here. You could always check me out, BT and Sal, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't forget, Odyssey app, download it. You can check out anything at all. If it's Boomer and Jew in the morning, because I'm sure this is going to be a hot topic. I'm sure we're going to be talking about the awful sweep the Mets had against the Pirates. But be it Boomer and Gio, Chris McMonagle, who's going to be on earlier than that, Boomer and Gio, BT and Sal, Evan and Tiki, Keith McPherson, all there on the Odyssey app. So if you miss anything at all, you can always download the podcast there. You can download the Rico Bronya there. You can download WFAN Daily on the Odyssey app. Or you can just go wherever you get your normal podcast. Wherever you download your normal podcast, you go check it out and download it. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you again for listening to another episode of WFAN Daily. I am Pete Hoffman. Again, at Hoff WFAN. And listen, is this the end of the season for the Mets? No. But my God, it feels like the lowest point. That's for sure. I hope that it doesn't get worse than this. If it gets worse than this, then we are in for a long season and not a good season. But let's just hope this is the bottom. It better be the freaking bottom. It better be the freaking bottom. All right. 877. No, that's not the number. 888-808-1019. I'm not on air, but I'm giving the number anyway because that's just where that's the go-to at the point in time. All right, let me end the podcast. Let me just shut the hell up. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'll see you later on with the Rico Bronya. Guys, you have a good rest of the evening. I hope you enjoy the day. I'll see you later.